Hey everyone, it's Cassie, and today I'm here with LDRS Creative, and today we're going to make a monkey shaker card. I'm going to be using stamps from this new stamp set called Safari. I'm also going to be using LDRS Creative inks in Dandelion, Coffee Bean, and Evergreen. These are hybrid inks and Copic friendly. I'm also going to be using some stamping mask paper. To start out, we're going to make some masks for our leaves. The mask paper has a front and a back. The back is shiny. You want to stamp on the matte side and then cut out your leaves. The links to all of these products can be found on my blog and in the description below. After cutting out your masks, you can peel them off the backing paper. I find a craft knife to be very helpful in getting it started. I'm going to be stamping the leaves in Evergreen ink. I'll tell you right now, this project isn't for the faint of heart. There's a lot of masking. Start out by stamping one of the leaves and then masking it off and stamping another one on top of it. It helps to vary your angles so they don't all look the same. Just keep moving your masks as you go. These masks are very sturdy and can handle a lot of use. Continue stamping and masking to add more layers of leaves. On the third row, I start skipping around a little bit, just so that the tree doesn't look quite so uniform. I'm putting the vine on the block slightly curved to give it more swing, then blocking off the leaves where I want the end of the vine to be, and then matching up the ends of the vines together to form a long vine. Don't worry if things don't line up perfectly, you can fix that in your coloring. Here I add a mask to one of the vines that I previously had made, just so that I can stamp another vine behind it. Areas where you're blocking off a large area and you don't need to be super precise, you can use a post-it note. I'm going to start with my darkest color first, adding in the veins, and the shadows where the leaves will overlap each other. This helps define the shapes. I'm going to continue working dark to light, adding in the color. Your coloring on this doesn't need to be super precise or anything really fancy. You don't even need to use as many colors as I am. I just like to use a lot of colors when I color. There'll be a lot going on in this card, so no one's really going to notice your coloring in any individual leaf. So don't let the amount of leaves that you need to color be intimidating. I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the vines, adding in my shadows and working towards my highlights. Next, I'm going to add in the sky. I'm going to start with my darkest blue and outline just along the stamped edges. outlining it again with my next lightest and blending it all together with my lightest blue. When you're done coloring, you can fussy cut along the bottom edge of the vine. Leave a little bit of a blue halo along the edge. Next, we're going to work on the grass. There's 2 grass stamps in this set, and I'm alternating between the 2. I'm being careful when I ink up the stamp not to ink the very bottom edge. The first row I'm putting right along the edge of the bottom of the page. The next row I'm putting about 1.5 inches up. I'm going to use the same colors for the grass that I used in the leaves, starting with my dark and working to the lightest. I'm just doing some basic flicking motions from the bottom towards the top. Don't worry about the top being messy, we're going to fussy cut along the edge of the stamped line. When you're done coloring, you can cut them out. Leave a good border on the bottom of the top one, and then fussy cut along both top edges of the grasses. Next, we're going to stamp 2 monkeys in Coffee Bean. I love this brown ink. It's great if you like to stamp on craft paper. Typically, when I color with Copics, I like to start with a base coat of my lightest color, then jump to my darkest color, and blend back towards my lightest color. To finish it off, I'm adding some black pen on the eyes and the nose and some white highlights. Next, I'll be stamping 15 bananas with the Dandelion ink. This may sound weird, but when I color yellow objects, I like to use a purple marker as my shadow color. This desaturates the yellow and gives it a more natural shadow. When you finish blending out your purples, they no longer look weird. Now we're going to use the included dies to cut out the monkeys and the bananas. One of the bananas you want to fussy cut along the lines. Now we're going to take our darkest blue to color in the white halo the die left around the monkeys. To get the banana to fit in his hand, we're going to have to cut right along his fingertips. Make sure you save that hand because we'll need it later. Use some double stick tape to attach the banana to the monkey's stump. Add another piece of double stick tape along the back to give it more support. Use a liquid adhesive to attach the fingers back on top of the banana, so it looks like he's holding it. The second monkey also needs some modification. Use a 1/16 inch punch to punch a hole in his hand. To create the window for our shaker, we're going to use the smallest oval from the woodland foliage frame set. I'm using a Copic airbrush and my lightest blue markers to add some blue to our frame. If you don't have an airbrush, you can also sponge on some ink. Next, we need to figure out where exactly we need to trim our longer grass piece. Arrange them at the bottom of your card to see where you want it trimmed. Mark that and then cut it off. Glue your long grass piece to the bottom of your card. For our shorter grass piece, we want a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to add some double stick tape to a piece of craft foam and then trim that off. I'll stick that to the back of the small grass and add some more double stick tape to the back of that. We also want some dimension behind our topper piece, so add some adhesive to that and glue that to your foam and then trim it out. We're going to stamp our sentiment onto the base of our card, so line everything up and figure out where your sentiment needs to be. Stamp it in coffee bean. To create the shaker part, we'll need to create a panel with a window out of the foam. Just trace the opening and cut wide. I then mark the outside edge and trim that. Add some adhesive along the back side of your frame and adhere a clear acetate sheet. Add adhesive around your foam window. Make sure that you get a good seal all the way around. This is what's going to keep your shaker bits and pieces inside. Adhere that to the back of your front panel. I like to dust my acetate with some anti-static powder just to keep the beads from sticking too much. Add adhesive to the back side of your foam and add in your shaker bits. I'm adding in the bananas and some micro beads. Then carefully line up the base of your card over top and press it down. Adhere your short grass and your banana holding monkey to the bottom of your card. Figure out where you want your second monkey to be hanging from the vine. Use that same 1/16 inch hole punch to punch a hole in your vine. Use a mini brad to attach the monkey to the vine. Then glue on your topper to your card. Then go bananas! This is a fun card to play with. Thanks for watching. For more videos, please like and subscribe.